Today, I'm going to talk to you about dating. And if you're one of those people that absolutely hates dating and it's like a dog-eat-dog world out there, then this video is for you. So I'm going to talk about some of the common reasons that dating can be so awful. So first of all, I want to start out with the understanding that dating is actually very neutral. In fact, everything is neutral in life. And the only time it's not neutral is when we are overlaying our feelings or our triggers onto that thing, and then we assign meaning to it. We assign feelings about it. We sort of give it our own connotation in our minds. So dating is actually very neutral. It can feel good, it can feel bad to different people. It's simply a conduit or a way to get to a certain end result. It's just the tool that you use to get to a certain end result, which is a relationship, marriage, whatever. And so it doesn't have to be bad. It's actually not bad to a lot of people. And so if it feels horrible and bad to you, then you've got some work to do in that area. Okay. So one of the first things that can cause dating to feel awful and horrible is that it is like a big, huge thing that reveals your insecurities. It's like it just removes all of the layers of hiddenness, the blankets laying over it, sort of covering your own insecurities from yourself, because we get so good at hiding those from ourselves and sort of pushing them down and not paying attention to them. And when we start dating, it brings them all to the surface. And we see that happen when somebody treats us a certain way. They have a certain behavior towards us. They say something to us, they act a certain way, and then we make it mean something about us. So let's say someone ghosts you, okay? It happens a lot in modern dating on social media. And someone ghosts you and suddenly your thoughts are something like, I'm not worth it to them. I always get rejected. There's somebody else abandoning me. I guess I wasn't worth their time to say something to them. Do you see how all of those statements are simply you making it mean something about you? You're assuming that they thought or felt certain things about you. And the truth is you don't even know what they were thinking about you. But it revealed your own insecurities about yourself through that experience. And so the number one thing you want to take away from dating is every time something like that triggers you, ask yourself, what is the insecurity that this is bringing up in me? The only way that you're going to get to a better place in dating is by dealing with those insecurities and healing those beliefs about yourself. Okay. Another thing that can make dating so awful is because oftentimes we attract what we are. Now, this can be a good thing and a bad thing sort of all at the same time, because most of us are a mixture of good, healthy parts of us, healthy parts of our lives, healthy beliefs about ourselves, and then a mixture of some negative stuff, our weaknesses, the areas we need to work on, parts of our lives that are a little bit neglected, things like that. Well, you often attract a match to those things, good and bad. So you're going to draw someone who has a lot of the strengths that you have, or maybe has similar parts. And I don't necessarily mean like the tangible parts of their lives, like the exact same career, exact same strengths. I'm talking more about like core behaviors, parts of yourself, your own mind, and your life that are being managed more at a deeper core level. And so you're going to draw someone who has all the goods, a lot of that good stuff in place. At the same time, a lot of the negative in place too. Somebody maybe who has similar areas of dysfunction, similar areas that are out of control in both of your lives that you haven't learned to manage those areas. And that can be a bad thing, because if a lot of times the things that trigger you about them are actually triggering you because you're seeing what it's like to be outside of you dealing with you. It's not so pleasant sometimes. Obviously, this doesn't pertain to every single case, and I want to be careful to discern the difference between like abuse situations. Sometimes you could be actually a little more abusive than you're realizing and you're getting triggered by someone else, but most of the time it's more not so much abuse scenarios, but just areas that we haven't managed ourselves and worked through certain things. Okay, so a really good practice here is to ask yourself, get really honest. You have to be really humble and willing to look at yourself honestly. And you have to be willing to grow and want to grow past these things to ask this question. But ask yourself, is there anything in me that I haven't dealt with that is actually getting triggered or revealed to me by this other person's behavior? Do I have similar problems? Do I have similar habits? How am I doing this to other people? How am I making other people feel this way? Okay, get really honest and ask yourself these questions. Again, you're going to start drawing what you want in a partner and a dating experience if you're willing to look at this stuff. It's not going to get better though if you're not. Okay. Another point is that you often draw what you believe that you deserve. It's kind of similar to revealing your insecurities, but I just kind of wanted to dig into that point a little bit. So if you believe that you deserve to be rejected, you're going to draw yourself towards people who are going to reject you. And this is something that I work with people a lot in coaching on, is we actually sit down and like map out exactly how you're doing that. It may seem really magical and sort of just like woo-woo, but it's actually very not. It's very much tangible, and we can map out your own self-fulfilling prophecies of how you're going about sort of isolating those people and finding them and then matching with them so you can replicate that experience for yourself. If you believe that you're not, worthy of love, you're going to draw people towards you that aren't going to give you the love that you deserve. Okay. So what you draw, what you believe that you deserve, and what you believe that you are worthy of. Okay. And another point that makes dating really terrible is that it's often if you don't believe that you can have what you want. It's amazing to me how many people go out into the dating world and they're actually approaching dating from this very hopeless place. Like they want to believe that there's somebody out there, but they actually don't believe it because they're walking around, and this is one of the clues that can show you if this is happening to you. They're walking around going, oh, there's just no good men out there left. There's just no good women out there left. They're all taken. Okay. If you're saying that, first of all, I'm calling BS on that, but also it's because you really don't believe that what you want is out there or that you can have it. Okay. If you don't believe you can have it, that goes kind of back to my previous points, but also it kind of comes to this too, along with the belief that it's just not out there. So if you're hearing yourself say that a lot, there's just nobody good left, all that kind of stuff, that is not true. And it's because you are coming from a very hopeless place, and you have to get yourself congruent with the idea that you can and you do deserve to have what you want. So that can kind of show up in two different ways. The example I just gave about saying that there's nobody left out there or whatever, that's a very conscious belief. Like it's much more on the surface, and you might even kind of know that you believe that. It can also show up in very sneaky ways, kind of more your subconscious thinking that you're not super aware of. And that can kind of show up in you feeling really hopeless, kind of just giving up, just being like, screw it, I'm not dating anymore, just completely giving up altogether, or it's very half-heartedly dating, only if sort of opportunities land in your lap kind of thing and not really pursuing anything. And then, or possibly finding matches that are always like kind of close or like real close to what you want, but never quite fitting the bill. A lot of times if that happens, it's because you don't believe that you can have what you want. And so you're not allowing yourself to draw it. It's amazing, or to be drawn to it. It's amazing how powerful you are at creating these scenarios for yourself. You can actually sabotage yourself by never letting yourself be drawn towards the person that's going to actually fulfill every single thing on your wish list. Okay. You are so much more powerful and purposeful in the dating experience that you have than you realize. And you are so much more conscious, even if it's kind of in the back, like recesses of your mind, of who you're drawing yourself to and aligning that with your thoughts than you realize. So this kind of comes back from the previous video that I made, that if you're having bad dating experiences, it's your fault. Okay. I know it doesn't feel good, and I've been there too, but if you want to change it, you have to own up to how you're creating your own experiences, and you have to work through all of your insecurities and heal those things in yourself so that you love yourself, you see your value, you see your worth, you know what you deserve, you believe that you can have it, and then you can go after it. And believe it or not, dating can actually be really fun if you come from that place. That's a very powerful place. It's very hopeful. And I want you to really stop and imagine how different would dating feel for you, and how different would it look for you if you approached it from that feeling, from a feeling of hope, of excitement, of empowerment, knowing that you were worthy, knowing that you were loved and lovable, knowing that you could have every single thing that you want and that you were going to stop sabotaging yourself. How much better would that feel? And what could your life look like 5 or 10 years down the road? I want you to think about that and then go back through this video and work through the questions that I gave you. I hope that helps. Actually, I know that will help. And if you need some help working through your dating issues, you need to reach out to me. This is something I've helped so many people with. It's a topic I love to help people with because I've had to work myself through the same stuff. So send me a message and I will tell you how we can work together.